Hey everyone, back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a rumour has it video where we're talking about players normally coming to the club, but also players potentially leaving the club, which does seem to be very frequent at the minute when it comes to Newcastle United. Why is that? Because we have to sell to buy because of the nonsensical PSR and FFP restrictions around the throat of Newcastle United, like every other club in the Premier League, other than 6 clubs in particular. So we're talking about a player leaving the football club, which is ironic right now because he happens to be the goalkeeper that's between the sticks as Nick Pope is injured. Who we're talking about, of course, we're talking about Martin Dubravka. Now, Martin Dubravka's had a very interesting time at Newcastle United. He signed for us back in 2018. He came in on loan initially. He was absolutely brilliant. I remember his debut against Manchester United. He was like a brick wall, couldn't get past him. Then went on to be our number one goalkeeper, signed him permanently. He's played over 140 times for the football club. He has had some patchy moments, certainly over the last couple of years. He went to Manchester United on loan. He put that really weird post out there that angered Newcastle United fans, where I think he called Manchester United. Fatal mistake, Martin. You played for Newcastle long enough not to do that, mate, but oh my days. But he is currently in between the sticks. As I record this, we haven't played Brentford in the Cup yet, so Martin might possibly play in that game. But the story goes that Martin Dubravka could be one of the players sold in January, probably one of the few, I think. And it sounds like the Saudi Arabian League are very interested. And thank the Lord that it's one of the names I can pronounce quite easily without mumbling my way through it. It's Al-Shabab. That's a nice, easy one. So Al-Shabab apparently are interested in signing Martin Dubravka in the January transfer window. Now, before you start wetting your pants, non-Newcastle fans in the comments, Al-Shabab are not owned by PIF. They're one of the Saudi Pro League teams that are not owned by the people that are 80% owners of Newcastle United. So get back in your box before you start. But yes, it sounds like Al-Shabab are closing in on Martin Dubravka. There was even something on social media the other day that looked like he'd agreed personal terms, which was weird because he was just playing for us in the nighttime as well. But yeah, it sounds very much like Martin Dubravka will be on his way out. Now, this doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you, because we do have a ridiculous amount of goalkeepers currently at the moment. The whole Vlachodimos thing is very weird. You know, we're supposed to spend 20 million quid on this goalkeeper, and he's not playing. He's third choice behind Martin Dubravka and Nick Pope, obviously, when he's fit. But it looks very much like Martin Dubravka will go. I don't think we'll get another goalkeeper in, to be honest with you. I think we'll stick with Vlachodimos and John Ruddy. So if we sell Martin in January, if Nick Pope isn't fit, Vlachodimos will probably get a few games under his belt, which I'm all right with, to be honest with you. I think he started all right in terms of his, he's playing for Greece and things like that. He came in for Newcastle United. He didn't really have a lot to do. I think he made a couple of catches, but he looked steady. He looked confident as a goalkeeper. He looked, calm. Obviously couldn't get a game for Nottingham Forest, but he looked all right. Now, the problem with Martin Dubravka started up here, then he's gone right down. His shot stopping was second to none. He's still a good shot stopper. Al-Shabab think he's got a good few years left of the movement 35, and he probably has as a goalkeeper, because goalkeepers can play right up until their 40s. And in the Saudi League, with all due respect to them, I know there is some good quality in there, but, outside of maybe 4 or 5 games a season, Martin Dubravka probably have relatively very little to do, but I think Martin Dubravka's powers have definitely waned over the last few years. His decision-making as a goalkeeper is very questionable. He's very hesitant off his line. One-on-ones, he's become like tracing paper, and the ball just goes right through him. When Nick Pope was injured last season, we saw some real ropey moments from Martin Dubravka, which made me remember the reason we signed Nick Pope in the first place, was because Martin Dubravka had tailed off so badly as a goalkeeper that we had to replace him. And this doesn't surprise me at all. And this will probably fetch a fee. It won't be a gigantic fee, I don't think, but whether it's 5, 6, 7 million, maybe 10 million, who knows? Maxi went for below market rate value, in my opinion. If we'd sold Maxi to another European club when we sold him, it wouldn't have been 25 million quid that the Saudi League paid for him. It wouldn't be that. It would have been 30, 40 million quid, possibly. The kind of money we are getting quoted for the likes of Bakayoko and people like that from the continent. So this is what will probably happen. We'll sell Dubravka at a kind of a monetary rate, a figure that we're happy to accept back in, for the age of the player and the length of time he's been in, et cetera, the time of his contract, that kind of a thing, and then we can reinvest that into squad development, because there is no doubt Newcastle United have to invest in this squad in January. There's 2 key positions massively, which is the right side of centre half and the right winger. They're the 2 priority positions, and to really improve in those positions, you're probably talking about 2 50 million pound players, to be fair. We have been linked to the boy from Lens who looks really good at 25 million quid. That could be a risk, but it could be a risk that really pays off. Sometimes you get these young players from the continent and they just turn out to be absolute superstars, and that could be something Newcastle have to look at. But I do think the right wing position is going to be something they are going to throw money at, whether that's the likes of Brian Mbeumo, Brentford, who we'll see at close quarters tonight at St James's Park, and I'm sure the coaching staff will be looking at him hopefully as a quiet game, to be fair, because he's a hell of a player. Someone like him, but he's going to cost you probably about 50 million quid. Brentford might dig the heels and take the piss, maybe on 60 million quid. Back at Yogo's probably going to cost you 40 or 50 million quid from the corner. And even if you split these costs over, a period of time, you're still going to have to pay 10 million quid a season. So selling people like Martin Dubravka is going to help balance the books. And let's be brutally honest with you, Martin wouldn't be in if Pope hadn't been injured. I actually think we need to upgrade on Pope for a long-term plan, maybe in the summer, because even Nick Pope is starting to show some creaks and some cracks as well. Even he is the goalkeeper that we upgraded Dubravka upon, is also showing some deficiencies as a goalkeeper now as well. So we have to act on that in the summer personally. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about Martin Dubravka moving on. Do you think it's the right time? Would you be sad to see him go? Do you think we'd be mad to sell him while Pope's injured? Do you think we should keep him? We always like to hear from you guys. Smash a comment in. Let us know what you think. And like and subscribe. Help the channel grow. We're past 9,000 subs now. We're pushing on hopefully to 10,000 subs, which would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, smash that button, guys. Keep it evermore. We'll be back with some Newcastle content this week. We've got matches to cover. We've got transfer rumours to go through in the lead up to the January window open as well. So it's all kicking off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a belter, and we'll see you later. Cheers.
Newcastle United 3.